What was the moment that you realized that you were dating a fucking idiot? He refused to believe me and went home in a huff when I talked about the fact that we used to have wolves and bears in the UK centuries ago. So I don't know if it's exactly common knowledge whether or not there were bears and wolves in the UK centuries ago. I think the real issue isn't that he's stupid, it's that he refuses to admit that he could be wrong. She said that the temperature in her house never changed, so she couldn't understand why she was always hot or cold. She had never taken the packaging off the digital thermometer, so she was just looking at a sticker that said 72 degrees. This one's pretty harmless though. I feel like we've all had that moment. We were walking together in a park when an older lady with a small dog passed by, and she, inquiring about the dog, asked the owner, "Is that a Belgian waffle?" I laughed my ass off and thought it was the funniest joke I'd ever heard, until I realized she was entirely straight-faced. There is no shot she thought a Belgian waffle was a breed of dog. You think? I want to just start making up random dog breeds and asking people about them now. Like, oh my god, is that an Irish fart hound? Do I see a Guatemalan chonkadoodle? I would not miss a Guatemalan chonkadoodle. My aunt had one. When I mentioned that a particular restaurant made their own pickles, he firmly corrected me, informing me that pickles grow on bushes. How firm do you think the pickle correction was? You never embarrass me like this again. You know this place does not have a pickle bush. Got in a big fight with my girlfriend at the time because I saw a bear crossing sign and thought it was worth pointing out. She called me an idiot because there was no way there were possibly bears in Michigan. I reminded her that we were going to the Sleeping Bear Dunes. That made us discuss if there were bears in our hometown, also in Michigan. I said yes. She said there couldn't be bears in her hometown, and I'm stupid for thinking that. We got in some ridiculous fight about how she can't date an idiot. A week later, a car accident happened less than a mile from her house where the car had a bear. I sent her the news article. That's when another fight started. Okay, I actually had something extremely similar happen, so now I'm gonna tell on myself. There was one day this guy I was dating ended up telling me, yeah, my cousin's in the hospital after getting bit by a beaver. And I was like, you fucking liar, there's not beavers in Michigan. And he was like, no, I'm pretty sure there are because my cousin's in the hospital from getting bitten by a beaver, so. But I was adamant. I was like, nope, not falling for it. There are not beavers in Michigan. A few days later, we went on a hike with another one of my friends, and we were along a river bend. It was a very narrow path, and so we were kind of single file. And my buddy at the very front of the line jokingly goes, hey, look, a lion! And as we look over the hill, it is indeed the biggest fucking beaver I've ever seen in my life. Completely understand how it would send someone to the hospital. It was like Narnia. We had a heated debate about whether or not dinosaurs were alive during the American Revolution. Her stance was, there's really no way to know. I mean, I could not be more certain that if there were dinosaurs alive at the same time as the American Revolution, that every single historian would be writing about it. The most illiterate and inbred of them would learn how to write just to tell people about the war dinosaurs. But also, we didn't even discover dinosaurs until the 1800s. Yeah, this one's bad. The first time he stayed the night, I heard him talking to his friends on the phone the next morning. This was before texting. And he said, hey man, guess what? This girl has like books and shit. Was the man that you invited to stay the night Gaston? He kept littering. I really hate littering. The day he spit his gum out on the sidewalk of a zoo, I called him out on it. He said, it will evaporate. I laughed and said, that's funny, but no, seriously, you should just use the trash can. He gave me a confused look. That's when I realized he was serious. He was so convinced that trash evaporates in the sun, we had a full-on debate about it. I absolutely agree with breaking up with gum will evaporate. Guy, easiest decision of my life. What's annoying though is that he's not right, but he's not wrong. Like, gum is photodegradable, meaning the sun will evaporate it, it'll just take 100,000 years. We watched Shrek and she didn't believe that the guy who voiced Shrek was the same guy who played Austin Powers because their accents aren't the same. I explained that it was the same actor doing different voices. She couldn't fathom it. When I told her that Austin Powers' voice wasn't the actor's real voice either, that was too much for her to handle. Oh god, I want to be the one who tells her that Austin Powers also plays 3 other characters in Austin Powers, and that one of them's Scottish. Dude, she would probably call me a gaslighting narcissist for telling her Fat Bastard and Dr. Evil are the same guy. Met a cute girl and asked her for a date. This was pre-cell phone or GPS, so I asked her for directions. She stated, "Go past the train track, take the second left, the third right, the second right, and then the second left, and my house is the white one." Started the train tracks, took her directions, and ended up in the middle of nowhere. Did this 3 times. So just for shits, I started at the train tracks. Everywhere she said left, I turned right, and where she said right, I turned left. Found her place on the first try. During the date, she also told me that she wanted to be a veteran because she loved working with animals. Damn, dude, she's not an idiot. She's probably just dyslexic as fuck. Or related to Derek Zoolander.
I'm not an ambi-turner.
It's a problem I had since I was a baby.
I can't turn left.
I took her out to dinner, gave her 2 options, an Italian restaurant or just like a regular restaurant where they served all kinds of stuff. She said she really hated Italian food, so we went to the regular restaurant where she ordered lasagna. Amazing. Okay, quick poll time, chat. Would you rather date the girl who doesn't know lasagna is Italian, or the girl who orders mac and cheese at every establishment no matter where you go? Let me know in the chat. You have to pick. She always told me how much she hated Tide Pods over regular detergent. I told her it was easier. Then I seen her doing laundry one day with them. She was ripping them open and squeezing them into the laundry individually. I mean, at least she wasn't eating them?
The bar is on the floor!
Anyway, this all brings us to the coup de grace of dumbest ex stories. After trolling through so many of these, this is the one. In college, I dated this guy who was nice but kind of dumb, and he had some bizarre personal habits around the house. The worst of which was the fact that he only owned 1 towel and he rarely washed it. It hung in his bathroom as stiff as sheet metal and as rough as a cat's tongue. So for Christmas, I bought him 2 more bath towels, a hand towel, and several washcloths. When he opened it, he looked quietly at it for a second, like a goat looking at a new fence, and said, "But I already have a towel." He was genuinely puzzled as to why anyone would own more than 1 towel since it gets cleaner every time you use it. Like a goat looking at a new fence. I love Slavic idioms. I will probably never be able to look at a towel again without thinking, but I already have a towel. Anyway, folks, this has been your reminder that sometimes God finds joy in making his most beautiful children also his dumbest. Have you ever had a singular moment that made you realize that this person could not be procreated with? Once you do the thing where you hit like, subscribe to my channel, turn on the notification bell so you don't miss any of my lives, make sure you leave it as a comment story down below for us all to read. If I get enough interest and enough stories, I'll go ahead and make a part 2 of this just for fun. Thank you again for watching all the way until the end. I look forward to the next video. Until soon.